third leg of the six-leg SPAR Grand Prix took place in Durban on a warm but mostly wind-free morning. Once again, because of COVID restrictions, there was only a small field of elite athletes at the start, including runners from the professional clubs, plus a number of local Durban runners.
Hello again!
The race started close to the beachfront and the Moses Mabhida soccer stadium. The mood was upbeat, and Diana Lebo-Palula of the Boxer Club sums up the sentiment amongst the runners.
It's so lovely to run the SPAR ladies. I would like to thank them for organizing the races for us through this pandemic thing. But they made sure that ladies, we are always running, we are always active. I would like to thank them. I'm so happy to run again. Oh, the first one I was not happy because I lost my friend on that weekend. But I managed to say I'm going to do my best and do it. I'm going to run the race for him. But the second one in Cape Town, I ran my best race ever. Being in the top 10, it's mean a lot for me because I can still do it when at this age, which is I can encourage any veteran female athlete who can do better than me.
The SPAR Group is a major supporter of the End Gender-Based Violence campaign, not only across the whole of society, but in particular when it comes to women in sport. The Girls Only movement highlights the stories of women and girls in sport.
It's a non-profit organisation that I founded a number of years ago because through my background as a competitive swimmer myself, I became really interested in women in sport and telling women in sport stories and just get important messages out there.
Gender-based violence is one of the biggest challenges that we face as women in sports because there are these traditional disadvantages that are already there and have been there for so many years, and some people are not even aware that this is gender-based violence. Things like emotional abuse, even sexual abuse, even boundaries that are often crossed, and a lot of grey areas because it's been happening for so many years.
The athlete-coach relationship is such a unique, special one, and the power dynamic that's set up there is just ripe for abuse. And if we're not careful, it can so quickly happen. And so that's also something that we hope to bring awareness to. What is gender-based violence? What is safeguarding? What can we all do, both men and women, to make sure that our young athletes are safe?
One of the things that Girls Only does through its research is that it takes the research that we get from the learners who will detail their experiences in sports and help those who are in the sports coaches and administrators and let them know this is what the girls and women are saying and this is how they feel when they're participating in sports, and this is what is stopping them from sports. The most important thing is getting athletes who are already professional or who have grown in the sports to share their experiences and help those who are still up and coming in the sports.
We hope through sharing of stories, sharing of research, that anyone that is maybe not aware can just reflect a little bit on their own behavior and go, sure, I don't mean it, because I think a lot of the times you don't mean it in a bad way. And so we want to empower not just perpetrators, but also the young girls to realize that's not how it should be. You can say no, but then of course when you do say no, where do you go and what help can you get? And we're on Instagram and Facebook, and we have a website, and on Instagram, Girls Only Project, same thing on Facebook, and you can find us at girlsonlyproject.org. Please look us up and contact us. We're very happy for people to get involved, and the more girls and women and stories that we can tell, the better.
The first group of runners to set off were the seniors, who would start 3 minutes ahead of the age group competitors. Up front early on, as was the case in the first two races, was the small figure of Ethiopian runner Tadu Nare in the green colours of Nedbank. She was the one to beat today, having demolished the field in both the Pietermaritzburg and Cape Town races. Running for the first time in the series was Gerda Steyn, also of Nedbank, who did so well for South Africa in the Olympic marathon in Tokyo. She arrived from Dubai just the day before the race, and this was her first competition since the Olympics.
Dit was 'n ongelooflike ervaring by die Olimpiese Spele hierdie jaar. Dit was 'n groot voorreg vir my om Suid-Afrika te verteenwoordig. Dit was die eerste keer vir my in groen en goud. So dit was 'n regtige ervaring wat ek vir die res van my lewe sal onthou. Die race self was baie rof. Dit was maar warm en humid. Maar dit was nog steeds dit is 'n race. Dit is almal dieselfde. Ons staan almal op die beginstreep en ons het almal dieselfde kondisies. So dit is 'n resies. Dis heeltemal anders as 'n groot stadmarathon of iets soos dit. Dit is 'n resies van wie kom die vinnigste by die eindstreep.
As the field settled down, it was Tardunare and Gerda Steyn making the running, but up there as well was Glenrose Zaba, boxer, second finisher in Pietermaritzburg, but missing from Cape Town due to injury. Tucked in there in the yellow colours of Marion Roberts was local athlete Taylor Kavanagh. In the pack was the other Palula twin, Lebogang.
I would like to take the opportunity and thank Boxer for helping us. Even though during the COVID-19, they managed to help us till from the start the COVID started till now. They're still helping us. They didn't even cut our salaries. They didn't cut anything. Boxer was always there for us. I was deciding not to do the cross country because I was supposed to go and run the cross country. Now my more focus is to go and train for Joburg, train for Pretoria, because I know all those come from the sea level. They have to suffer to in the lane, so they need to run with us. So it's going to be easy for us to run in Joburg and Pretoria. So I'm going to train him. I'm going to put my focus in Pretoria and Joburg.
The 5 leaders moved into the road next to the sea, direction Blue Lagoon. Behind them, the chasing runners started to spread out, each athlete deciding on a race plan that would ensure a top 10 finish at the end. Cornelia Jabé, a boxer, and Nicole van der Merwe of the University of Johannesburg were a few metres behind the group of 3, Sean Oldno, Zintle Zaniwe and Kyla Jacobs. But the 3 of them would have to work hard to make up the top 10, with another group of 10 runners just ahead. All in all, this was becoming a competitive and high-quality race. The group reached the far northern end of the course at the Blue Lagoon Circle, and on the way back could check out where they were in terms of the whole race. Unlike the Cape Town race, Tardunare had elected to remain with the leaders, but now she accelerated, and immediately the front group broke up, with Taylor Kavanagh, Glenrose Zaba and Gerda Steyn pulling away from the others. This is the same pattern as in the first 2 SPAR races, the 20-year-old Ethiopian runner simply too strong for the rest. The battle for second place was now between Steyn, the Olympic marathon heroine, Zaba, the national half marathon champion, and Kavanagh, the 2019 junior cross-country champion, certainly a wide cross-section of athletics abilities. Fortunate Chidzivo, the Zimbabwean national now resident in Cape Town, was making her move. Diana Lebapalula, Kesa Malatsani and Mukulu Bete Makatisi were now lying in position 6 to 8. Heading south, Nare was well clear, and Glenrose Zaba, apparently over her knee injury, was chasing second place. Steyn and Kavanagh were just off the boxer runner's pace, but these 2 were not giving up so easily. What a contrast, the world-class marathon runner and Comrades marathon record holder running with a 20-year-old cross-country champion with just a few 10k races under her belt. Nare's gap over the others was much smaller than in Cape Town, and now Kavanagh and Steyn worked together to get back on level terms with Glenrose. This trio was moving quickly with a slight tailwind, targeting times of around 33 minutes. Glenrose commented about the race.
Yes, I can say it was a proper race because the challenge was there. I'm just very happy to race with Gerda and Taylor because they're very quick and Gerda is having a strength. So if you go with the speed, you're challenging her, but it's just a lovely thing to have Gerda in the field.
Just a few spectators out there, which always helps. The leading group was now close to halfway and approaching the end of their first lap. The chasers still had Tardu in their sights, but to be honest, the writing was on the wall and they were just looking to find the best plan to get second spot. Significantly, the gap from the Steyn group to the runner in 5th place was now quite big, around 10 seconds. Large, but not insurmountable. Another tight turn for Tardunare was approaching at the end of this section of the course, exactly at the halfway mark at 5 kilometers. With the time approaching 16 minutes, it was clear that another really fast finishing time was coming. Quick, but probably not as quick as Cape Town a week earlier. Turns such as these allow runners, both in front defending positions or behind trying to make up ground, an ideal opportunity to weigh up their chances. Zaba, Steyn and Kavanagh went through halfway together in just over 16 minutes. With Tadunare well away, the rest of the top 20 made their way through halfway. Palula, Makatisi, Oldno, Jacobs and Van der Merwe were all hoping for a top 10 finish, decent prize money and precious SPAR Grand Prix points. And speaking of points, 25 more today would give Tadunare a healthy margin over the others heading into the second half of the 6-race SPAR Grand Prix. This certainly looked likely now as she steadily pulled away on the second lap. Zaba, Kavanagh and Steyn were still together, with the 5th place runner out of sight. Reaching the halfway mark at this time was Shanae Bosman, the leading over 40 runner. As she had done in the first 2 races, the Marion Roberts athlete was well clear of her rivals.
I must say, if I think back last year, the only race we had was Cape Town Marathon, and this year the 10Ks is so nice to be able to race again. And I think also for here not doing comrades and just focusing on a little bit less kilometers, I think I never thought I will ever run 37, under 37 again. So yeah, so I'm hoping to still to get under 35 at the age of 46. So that's my aim, what I want to do. But yeah, I will try.
Fortunate Chidzivo has been a model of consistency, finishing 5th in Maritzburg and 4th in Cape Town. Now she was out on her own in 5th place, a very useful place to be in terms of the overall SPAR Grand Prix, where consistency is the name of the game. The final 3 kilometres had arrived for Tadunare, and the young Ethiopian looked as fresh as the proverbial daisy as she ran around the Blue Lagoon Circle and headed back towards the finish area. This had been another masterclass from the Nedbank athlete, who is no stranger to the SPAR Grand Prix, having finished 2nd behind Namibian superstar Eladia Johannes in 2019. One of the stars of today was definitely Taylor Kavanagh, the 20-year-old Durban-based Marion Roberts runner who had burst onto the scene in Pietermaritzburg with a wonderful 4th place finish and a personal best of 33.26. Although she was now back in 4th spot, this was another great performance from her. Taylor's rise to prominence was not through the traditional route of track running at school, then province, then nationally. In fact, she has virtually no track experience at all. It's pretty much all about cross-country, where she excelled at junior level. SPAR invited Taylor and her parents down to the beachfront on a windy day to have a chat. Taylor's parents and older sister have been pivotal to her success, first as a schoolgirl prodigy, now as a nationally ranked senior roadrunner.
We're a very, very close, tight family, and even with my coach, it kind of all feels like family. And yeah, I'm a very home girl. I'm very close to my sister, my mum and dad, and yeah, I'm very lucky to have the support system that I do, and I genuinely feel that it helps a lot having a supportive family that are as passionate about the sport and everything as much as I am.
Her start in competitive athletics was back in school, primarily in cross-country racing rather than track or road running.
So I started running actually when I was in primary school. Obviously, I only started taking running more seriously when I was in high school. So like from 2016, 17 into 2021 now. But unfortunately at school, our school wasn't very athletic. We didn't have a lot of opportunities. So I had to use events like outside of school to participate and, try and do well in those. So I focused on cross country because I just absolutely loved it, and it was one event I preferred it a lot more than the track. That's why I didn't participate a lot in the track events in my younger years, and even now I haven't done much track. But I focused on cross country because I really enjoyed it and I had like a passion for it. So each year I just keep trying, keep doing each race I could do, and eventually I ended up winning a junior section in essays, and yeah, I was really, really happy with that because it kind of showed my progress from when I started cross country up until then. I think I just, like the hard work and dedication I put in over like a few years, like obviously built up, and then I just had a really good race that day, and I used the opportunity that I was given and performed really well, and it made me feel really a huge boost of confidence. And yeah, I think from then I've just taken that as a good lesson, like hard work pays off, and I just took each race as it came and just worked at it, and it's gotten me to where I am today. And I definitely feel that the cross country had a really good build and foundation for the road running, and I'm really enjoying the road running, and I look forward to running more in the future.
Her run in the Pietermaritzburg SPAR Grand Prix race in August was a major breakthrough for the novice road runner.
I didn't really have many expectations going to Maritzburg. Just thought, to see how it goes in the day, and just take the race conditions into account, and we'll see how it goes. And I was thoroughly surprised with how well I did on that day. I know I haven't raced in like 2 years. I've had some injuries and illnesses that I've struggled with, so it was really nice coming into Maritzburg, coming third. I was really happy with that and surprised at the same time. So overall, that was a good day for me, and it has really boosted my confidence, and I look forward to gaining more confidence, as it was only my first race as a senior, so I look forward going to other races and just building on that confidence. I would say that my goals going forward are, I still feel that I have a lot to do within the 10K distance, but I really look forward to moving up to 21 and those distances at a later stage. But currently I'm still going to work on the 10K for a while, and then as soon as I'm confident and comfortable, I'll be moving up to further distances.
Kavanagh, while she may have held back a bit in the first lap, now opened up the taps and pushed herself to the very limit in the last 3 kilometres. With a slight tailwind, she sped up kilometre splits of 3 minutes 10 seconds, rapidly increasing the gap over the chasers. And now these chasers were down to just 2 runners, Glenrose Zaba and Gerda Steyn, the ultramarathon champion versus the half-marathon specialist. Gerda had this to say about her Tokyo Olympic marathon experience.
Ek het 'n klein bietjie kommunikasie gehad met van die ander atlete rondom my. Ek het nogal redelike tyd saam met Neheng gehardloop van Lesotho. Dit was regtig lekker, 'n familiar gesig op die beginstreep, en ons het gevind ons hardloop baie lekker saam, en ek het ook saam met die Australiese meisies 'n klein bietjie van 'n paar woorde gedeel op die pad. So ja, daar was kommunikasie. Dit was 'n wonderlike ervaring. Ek bedoel, ons het almal vir 'n week lank saam gebly voor die races en mekaar bietjie beter leer ken. Ja, dit was wonderlik.
Glenrose Zaba struggled on the downhills in Pietermaritzburg, but still ran 33:40. She missed Cape Town, but was now back stronger than ever and pulling away steadily from Steyn. This was the kind of skill, power and determination we saw back in 2018 when she won the previous SPAR Grand Prix. Sadly, COVID caused the event to be cancelled last year. Glenrose is a good example of a local South African athlete moving into genuine world class, whose sub-70-minute half-marathon personal best shows this. Gerda Steyn, lacking Glenrose's pure speed, fell back to third, but being a world-class marathon runner herself, has her own views on this subject.
Ek dink jy's reg, daar is vir ons Suid-Afrikaners daar is 'n gap. Ek sal eerlik wees. Ek kyk na die wêreld se atlete en ek sien net 'n opwaartse kurwe. Die kwaliteit en dit word nie swakker nie. Dit word net al hoe beter en beter. Dit word van jou verwag as 'n maratonatleet om laat 2:20 te hardloop in die maraton om te consider te word as 'n wêreldklas atleet. So ek dink daar is 'n pad wat ons Suid-Afrikaners moet stap. Ek dink iemand soos Glenrose het wonderlike talent. Tyla, daar is talent in ons land. Ek dink dit is dalk net 'n ding van die hele stelsel moet 'n bietjie van 'n opkikkering kry, en ek sal graag wil sien dat talle atlete deurkom deur die ranks. So ek hoop vir die toekoms dat dit sal verbeter.
Fortunate Chidziva was working hard to catch Taylor Kavanagh, but there was no stopping Kavanagh. The 20-year-old runner improved her personal best over 10 kilometres in Pietermaritzburg to 32:22 on a hilly course, then went a whole 55 seconds faster in Cape Town, recording 31:27, the 6th fastest time ever by a woman on South African soil. Running negative splits, proving that she had plenty to spare on the first lap, Kavanagh of Nedbank in Ethiopia won her 3rd straight SPAR Grand Prix race in 32:06, just 39 seconds slower than her Cape Town time. Fighting fatigue, Glenrose Zaba of the Boxer Running Club came second, a repeat of Pietermaritzburg, edging out Gerda Steyn of Nedbank by just 8 seconds.
No, I can say my injury is not finished yet. It's just a little bit better. I can able to do 80%. So I'm very happy to be in Durban because Durban is my lovely city, and when I'm at Durban, I'm performing very well.
Gerda ran a superb race, considering it was her first since the Tokyo Marathon, and proving just how versatile she is, running 33 minutes at one extreme and sub 6 hours for the Comrades Marathon at the other. Truly amazing.
Op die oomblik die Ethiopiërs en die Keniane, hulle staan kop en skouers uit bo die res van die wêreld. Hulle het 'n duidelike stelsel wat werk. Hulle het die kultuur en dit is wat ek amper weer wil highlight, want hulle het daai kultuur in hulle wat wys dat almal om my het die vermoë om vinnig te hardloop. Miskien kan ek ook vinnig hardloop. En dit is hoe 'n kultuur gebou word. En ek dink ons kan baie leer by hulle, want dit is moontlik vir ons Suid-Afrikaners om dieselfde kultuur te vorm.
Nare and Zaba both broke 33 minutes, with Steyn at 33.07. Kavanagh's 33.26 was another personal best, with Chidzivo in fourth place getting the same time. Former Grand Prix winner Kavanagh was back in 10th place, struggling once again with injury. Oldno, Marais and Jacobs all made the top 10 again. And for the third time in a row, Shane Bosman took the over 40 title on this occasion in 35.50, which placed her an excellent 17th overall in the race.
I was quite happy at Pietermaritzburg to run under 37, and then last week I ran a 35.31, and today I wanted to try to do it a little bit better, but I'm happy. 35.50 is still great for me, so at the age of almost 46, I'm very happy.
Judy Bird of Marion Roberts took her third consecutive win in the over 60 category. Her time of 40.12 once again broke the national record for her age group.
I think with the SPAR series, I think they're brilliant because it gives you a target. They're quite fast and furious, like sort of 13-day break and then a week and then a week. But that's the challenge, just to stay fit, stay focused and not get too fatigued with the training.
No race in Durban would be the same without Blanche Moyler, now over 65. Her time was a few seconds over 50 minutes. Last year was a challenge for her.
It's awesome to be back on the road. COVID really caused a lot of hiccups for many of us. You couldn't train as you want to. And now it's just such a blessing to be back on the road.
Rachel Woodburn ran close to 40 minutes to win the junior category. Shaunae's time of 35.51 was her best of the series, as was Judy Bird's 40.13. Shani Silva upset two-time winner Elmarie Pretorius in a tight race for the over 50 title. Fortunate Chidzivo moves into second spot on the Grand Prix behind Naru. Kessa Malatsani is now third in a tight battle with Sean Oldno and Kyla Jacobs. SPAR then made a special and very large donation to the Girls Only movement as a reminder to everyone about the importance of the End Gender-Based Violence campaign in South Africa. The prize winners in the Open, as well as the various age group categories, took to the podium in a COVID-compliant awards ceremony. With half the Grand Prix series done, the pace is hotting up for a really big prize money. So we look forward with great excitement to resuming the series again in Tshwane on September the 24th. We'll see you all there.